Sometimes the mysteries that are the most intriguing are the ones that are extremely trivial and weird. I wanted to share a handful that have been plaguing me as of late, alongside ShaiiValley. Let's get right into it. Starting off with what inspired me to make a compilation of mysteries like this, we have the elusive fish lamp that Strawberry Kiwi VW, or Alana, on TikTok has been trying to find for years.
Please help me find this lamp.
Her biggest regret in life was not buying it when she saw it at Goodwill 4 years ago. And despite her extreme dedication to it, she hasn't managed to find much info. Everyone in her life knows how much she loves this thing. She's even made a Lego and mug in memory. Of course, she has a fish lamp shrine, and as you can see here, there's a photo of Debbie Ryan posing with it. This is because it was featured in the 2010 film 16 Wishes. It's a prop in the main character's bedroom, and I went through the entire movie to compile as many screen caps of it as I could. Here is the glowing fish in all its glory. Her and her friend both have made multiple posts on Reddit seeing if anyone could find one, all with no answers. They said she found out it was in 16 Wishes after reverse image searching the lamp and running into this fan page. In May of 2023, a Twitter user posted a photo of the fish, attaching a pretty wild story to it. Responding to a tweet about the Goodwill knickknack section, he said, "Me and my bro went to a Goodwill and he found the most ugly fucking fish statue, and he went around at school making out with it. My bro slept with that fish for 6 days. He was with it 24/7 until he started getting lead poisoning from the statue. He was so upset that he beat the shit out of it at school until it was little pieces. But now it was in the air as little particles and he kept sniffing it and he vomited for like 3 days. That is some crazy lore, but I'm going to hope it's fake for the sake of Alana not risking lead poisoning. And also, I don't appreciate calling this marvelous fish lamp an ugly fucking fish statue." Genuinely, the only other proof of its existence that's been found is someone posted their Christmas Eve thrift trip last year, and lo and behold, the fish revealed itself once again. This was at a Value Village in Vancouver. I believe Alana is from Canada, and 16 Wishes was filmed in Vancouver as well. So chances are the lamp was produced there. Alana emailed the movie's set designer, but no luck there either, and there seriously has never been a lead for figuring out the company or finding a person who has one. The TikTok comments are flooded with liars saying they have it, but Reddit got stuff like this though, so I don't know which is worse. Her commitment to this lamp makes me believe she'll get it someday. While it may show itself merely once every few years at Canadian thrift stores, I hope at some point someone turns up with actually owning one so we can know where it came from. And of course, that Alana finally achieves her dream of acquiring one. It'd be thanks to the internet, and if you've been on the internet for a while, and I'm assuming you have, unfortunately, there's likely a big bunch of your personal information and data that's sitting in a very compromised position with data brokers. You also probably know how easy it is to find where someone lives with a simple search. An efficient way to reduce spam, keep your online identity, and yourself in real life safe is by getting today's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni removes your info from data breaches and keeps you off of these terrifying personal info sites. Fun fact, a lot of them have people's emails, and there are online tools that let you put in an email, then bam, anyone can see the accounts on different sites you've made. Spam calls, which usually are more annoying than scary as long as you don't answer them, are also thanks to data brokers having your number in their systems. Incogni's process is automated once you create your account, so all you have to do is enter up to 3 phone numbers, emails, and addresses that you want protected. Then Incogni does all the work for you while you sit back and relax. You can additionally protect your loved ones with a family and friends plan, which lets you add 4 people to the subscription, or go with an individual plan. If you want less spam and less chances of being stalked online,
go to incogni.com/KylieBoggly for a 60% off discount. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee if you want to try it out. Now let's get back into it.
A lot of us that grew up in the 90s and 2000s likely remember Pingu, the bizarre but endearing claymation that followed a young penguin's everyday life. Our mystery comes from the 16th episode of the first season, which is about Pingu and his sister Pinga doing everything they can to avoid a bedtime. In the opening scene, their mum is at the table reading a newspaper. It looks like what a newspaper prop in a claymation would be, but she flips to the next page and there's a big picture of a man's face. His face isn't even shown for a full second, but it's definitely there. And pretty confusing since this is a show about penguins and a seal with no humans in sight. So why is Pingu's mother reading about people? I guess it would be like a human seeing a penguin in a newspaper though, not something out of the ordinary. The why is besides the point because what I want to know is who this guy is. Superdrive85 on the Pingu wiki noticed the oddity and posted about it in April of 2021. 3 years later, Reddit user A Talking Pizza Box started a thread on r/non-murder mysteries asking if anyone could identify who the man was. They believe they also caught a glimpse of him in episode 14, also from season 1. Since it's from a different angle and they look a bit different, I'm honestly unsure if it's the same person. Some thought it was a clipping of a real paper, others thought it was someone on the animation or production team. I went through people who worked on the show and couldn't find a match, although it could obviously be a picture that isn't online. No one's forehead seemed to line up in my opinion though. User Pixeline suggested Olof Palme, I believe that's how it's pronounced, who was a Swedish politician who was assassinated in 1986, 4 years before the production of season 1. While these images do look alike, there are quite a few differences. Throughout history, there's been many little Easter eggs like this in all kinds of different media. I just covered the Shrek face, which was a pretty interesting one. Figuring out the identity or origin of them is really intriguing to me, but there's no way to know for sure who it is without a matching photo or confirmation from one of the show's workers. And the man in the Pingu newspaper has remained unknown.
In May of 2024, user Ding Dong Mandich noticed something pretty unnerving while completing captchas on a Valorant browser page. The prompt is, please click the entity similar to the following silhouettes. The examples given are these indistinct figures, but that isn't the weird part. It shows you crabs, with the entity being a very strange creature. The 2 captchas they got after this generated more crabs, along with starfish and dolphins. The entities in both being even more unsettling creatures. They're alien-like, and this one is genuinely freaky. Wondering if someone could conjure up an explanation, they turned to r/internet mysteries. OP wasn't the only person who'd seen an entity. User KateLion8 came across one on the Vanilla Visa gift card website. And MantaX said they've seen captchas generate similar things too. Users in the thread thought it was object recognition training for AI, or that it's an extra measure to prevent bots, since AI would easily detect a human face, but would be much less likely to distinguish whatever the hell this is. It's still incredibly odd, and I wanted to see if I could find other instances of it. The surge of the entity captchas seems like it was in May, and they've been posted on Twitter and TikTok. They're always with crabs or sea creatures, and always accompanied with a gray entity. The occurrence is bewildering everyone. I don't know why captchas are trying to start an analog horror series, and the crabs sure do make it weirder. There's likely no tangible reason or explanation for this, other than computers and AI being kind of terrifying. But it was too eerie and confusing to not share.
On August 23rd, 2024, OneBadNoodle_ on Twitter shared a sketch of characters they recalled from a book they read as a child. They wrote, "Do these two look familiar? My family used to have this weird art book that I think I mistook as a children's book, and these were the two main characters. I think their names were John and Yoko, but I can't be sure." They added more details in follow-up tweets, like how their mum used to collect art from local artists in Austin, Texas, and that it would have been sometime in the 2000s. The book was black and white with a red accent color, along with some mixed media collages. Although it was most likely a compilation of art pieces rather than a traditional storybook, there was a part where Yoko and John went to a circus. They remembered the ringleader being hostile to the performers, and one was a turtle with a human head. After a dangerous stunt, the circus burns down, with everyone escaping besides the ringleader, who gets trapped. "Kinda dark, lol," they said. There was another illustration with two characters in a red garden. After people mentioned how John Lennon and Yoko Ono were married, the Noodle affirmed that they were aware of the Beatles connection, but didn't think it was specifically related to them in any way. There's also the possibility that their names were something else. CMY_kid found a tip of my tongue post looking for an artsy black, white, and red children's book that unsettled them when they were younger, and they wondered if it was the same thing. This post was unfortunately never solved. Someone from Austin replied to their Twitter thread saying it rang a bell, and proposed it being from Toy Joy or Terra Toys, since both are local shops with imported books. Opie's family did purchase things from Toy Joy, so it might have come from there. There were plenty of suggestions, such as the Pan and Chat series, Edgar and Allan, or how it reminded people of the main characters from Tulip, but none of them were it. Eventually, people were accusing the Noodle of making the entire thing up, but they said it genuinely is a memory they have, even if they got details wrong. They think the characters are from something real, and at the very least, want to figure out who they're thinking of. Since their mum collected local art, I could definitely see this being a book from an obscure artist. This would definitely make it very difficult to find and identify, especially considering it hasn't already been solved, but it definitely isn't impossible.
In the 2000s, there was a website called player.org, where you could play video games online like Donkey Kong Country and multiple Pokemon games. Years later, user Blade430 had a vague memory of it and wanted to look it up. But they mistakenly typed in player.com, which led them to something entirely different. Hello, enter Game World. Use arrow keys to move around. Hit the T key to talk to things. They can only hear you if you are right next to them. See if you can find someone who can message Pike. Let Pike know what you think. Entering leads you to a top-down game, and all you can do is talk to the NPCs and explore different areas. In the first room, if you talk to the character, he'll reply, "What you seek is nearby," then tells you to go east. He also says, "Be one with the mountain." We'll get back to what's in the east in just a minute. Towards the left, there's another character. After talking, he responds, "Sometimes a gremlin den is just a gremlin den," and go into the mountain to be with it. He then introduces himself as the Oracle. The next room over is a gate with 2 bodyguards, which is allegedly closed until October. When you go back to where the game started and go up, there's an area full of these little green guys, but they just speak in gibberish, like Bleezorp and Zorp Blee. I think they're adorable though, definitely a highlight. Go down and to the right, and it unlocks the east. After traversing down a hallway, there's a pub, which is the most fleshed out part of the game. One of the patrons just burps at you, and the other's dialogue is, "To the long journey," and "This ale is refreshing." The barkeep claims he can help you with messaging Pike, pocket monsters, ale, Bitcoin, this domain, or the wasteland. What I gathered is that this domain is Pike's, Bitcoin is the currency of the realm, and the wasteland is to the west, the place that opens in October. I assume pocket monsters might be the green things. If you type message Pike, it gives you the option to email him. After sending the message, a little pink character comes in to pick it up and have it delivered. However, others that found the pub and emailed Pike never got a response, and it's unclear what this game actually is. User Geetus Girl discovered it was hosted on another URL. This comment was in 2019, and back then, the game was available on both sites, for whatever reason. As of today though, it's only on Player. On the Wayback Machine, we can see the Player URL was originally a different site, until 2015, when the domain became Game World. I'd love to know more about who is behind this game, if there was a purpose behind it, and what's supposed to happen when the West Gates open. But the mysterious nature of it is alluring, and everyone loves a barely explainable site. Maybe we'll get more information in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Pointless and trivial mysteries are some of my favorites, and me and ShaiiValley wanted to shed light on a handful that had really been plaguing us. Have a happy new year, and thank you.